Hello and welcome into this week's edition of The Pole Position right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me tonight. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, first off, welcome. This is a channel where we discuss lots of motorsports, namely NASCAR, ARCA, IndyCar, and Formula One. Those are the series that we cover right now. There are plans to broaden that scope eventually, but for now, those are the series that we cover. So on tonight's edition of The Pole Position, we are one night late on this as the ARCA Rewind show went up last night in Pole Position's time slot, so we bumped Pole Position back one night. But that's okay, because we have three races to recap for you tonight. The trucks from Charlotte on Friday night, the Monster Energy NASCAR All-Star Race from Saturday night, as well as ARCA from Toledo on Sunday. So let's start off with the truck series. They were in action on Friday night from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the North Carolina Education Lottery 200. And I don't think it's a surprise to anyone at this point when we say Johnny Sauter wins. That's three wins in 7 races so far this season. An incredible start to the season for Johnny Sauter. Led 71 of the 134 laps on the night, Friday night. That was by far the most laps led in this race. Kyle Busch came home a close second in that 51 truck. Brandon Jones, his best finish of the season in the 46 truck for Kyle Busch Motorsports, comes home in the 3rd position. Brett Moffitt and Ben Rhodes rounded out the top 5. Rest of your top 10 was Stuart Friesen, Parker Kligerman with a strong run, Noah Gragson in 8th, John Hunter Nemechek 9th, and Todd Gilliland rounded out the top 10. So that is your quick recap of the truck series. Now let's head to the Cup series. They were in action for the exhibition race on Saturday night, that being the Monster Energy NASCAR All-Star Race. And it may have been a non-points race, but Kevin Harvick wins again. If you count this one, that's 6 wins this season for Kevin Harvick already, and we're not even to June yet. An absolutely incredible start for the driver of that number 4 car. 36 laps led on the night. I don't think there was any touching Kevin Harvick tonight. That's not the first time we've said that this season, not even close to it. And I don't think that's the last time we will say that this season, that there wasn't anybody even close to touching Kevin Harvick. That being said, Daniel Suarez in second put up a really good run that is very commendable. Raced his way in from the open and then comes home in the 2nd position. Had a very fast car. That's 2 years in a row now, Daniel Suarez. He's been in the sport for 2 years, and he has been in the All-Star race both years, has raced his way in from the Open both years. So Daniel Suarez knows a little something about Charlotte and knows a little something about the All-Star race. That would be quite interesting if, hypothetically, he does not win a race between now and next year's All-Star race, races his way into the Open, and wins his first race in the All-Star race. Technically, it wouldn't be his first win as it's an exhibition race, and it wouldn't necessarily count in the win column for him, but that would be an interesting shakeup for Daniel Suarez. I don't know that we're going to have to wait that long for Daniel Suarez to get a win, though, because he has been very good this season. I think it's just a matter of time before Daniel Suarez picks up a win. Rest of your top 5, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott with a very strong run in 5th. The rest of the top 10, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Larson, AJ Allmendinger had a very fast car, won the Open, and was really in contention most of the night. Had some problems near the end of the race that relegated him to not so great of a finish. Not the finish I think he deserved, because he definitely had a top 5 car, if not a winning car. AJ Allmendinger was extremely fast on Saturday night. Kyle Busch in 9th, and Casey Kane rounds out the top 10 with his throwback to his All-Star win in that number 9 for Ray Evernham. Even had the same Evernham font for the 9 on his 95, so that was pretty cool. Of note, not on the graphic, but Matt Kenseth came home in the 14th position. That is of note for multiple reasons. First and foremost being this is his second race back in that 6 car. The second being that he did start on the pole, and I think there were higher expectations for him than that, given that he did start on the pole. I don't know. I can't really figure out where Matt Kenseth is right now. I can't figure out if he's going to be able to right that ship at Roush Fenway or not, or if it's just a lost cause at this point. We will see going forward. I would like to see it to where he gets everything fixed at Roush Fenway and they're competitive again. I just don't know if it's going to happen. Finally, the final race of the weekend, that was the Menards 200 presented by Federated Car Care at the Toledo Speedway for the ARCA Racing Series. And another guy with 3 wins in a very short season thus far, Zane Smith picks up the victory. His 3rd win in 5 races to start the ARCA season. Didn't necessarily have the fastest car in this race. We talked a lot about this on the ARCA Rewind show last night. I think Chandler Smith probably had the fastest car in the race, as he seems to have in every start he has had this season. Chandler, though, had some mechanical issues late in the race that kept him from actually winning the race. Zane Smith, though, I think probably, I would say, might have been the second fastest car in the race. It depended on where we were in the race. There were points where he was faster than other points in the race. He did have a great battle with his teammate Chase Purdy, though, at the very end. Purdy comes home in the 2nd position, his best finish of the season. Joe Graff Jr. was in 3rd, last car on the lead lap. Chandler Smith, we mentioned he had some mechanical problems, broke a front sway bar late in the race. That relegated him to a 4th place finish, and Brett Holmes rounded out the top 5. Rest of your top 10, Brandon Grosso. Natalie Decker came home in the 7th position, her best finish of the season since her 5th place finish in Daytona. Travis Braden in 8th, Harrison Burton 9th, and Thad Moffitt rounded out the top 10. So that's your results for the Menards 200 presented by Federated Car Care from the Toledo Speedway Sunday afternoon for the ARCA Racing Series. And I think that will do it for us tonight on Pole Position. Thank you once again for joining me tonight. It is a pleasure talking to you as always. If you haven't done it already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing from racing news now. Hit that big thumbs up button if you like the video. It is much appreciated when you do. And don't forget to support us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/racingnewsnow. It's not required by any means, but we appreciate it when you do help us out on there, because it just helps us continue to grow and give you better and better quality content into the future. So with that, this has been the Pole Position, where you always start on the front row. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.